What's up? Um, this is gonna be the update about last week. I unfortunately forgot to record. At the last Sunday. So yeah, now it's currently Thursday, the next week, and I guess a late upload is better than no upload. So yeah, what did I do last week in school? Yeah, I'm about to tell you. First of all, we started learning about functions, dictionaries, a bit of it was a bit some repetition on control flow, so like if statements, a bit of while loops, elifs, else, and stuff like that. And since it's already Thursday and I've had my first lecture this week, the one yesterday at Wednesday, we did some error handling, so like try excepts, and learned about two different types of handling errors, like doing it with if statements or doing it with try except. So I was also in Stockholm this week at Monday, and we were studying a small group of the class. So it's really fun to meet them outside the school. I think we're gonna do some study each Monday outside of school, which I really like. And I'm gonna talk a bit about this week, since I've already had my lecture, one of them, for this week. So, but I think I'm still gonna upload on Sunday either way, and talk a bit more about like tomorrow, Friday's lecture and stuff like that. But we've gotten our first home exercise, and it's a calculator in the terminal, and the requirements are to use functions, flow control, so like if statements, input from the user, so they can choose two numbers and one operator to do the math with, and if statements is to handle different outcomes depending on what operator the user chose. And what's more, error handling, since we learned that yesterday. I already know like all the stuff we've learned so far, but it's kind of fun to relearn or get a better understanding of all these things. So yeah, we have to use try except to catch value error if the user passes in like a letter instead of a number, as well as zero division error if the user tries to divide by 0. I've already handed in the calculator, but I'm thinking I'm gonna show you how I did it. So I'm gonna jump onto the computer and we'll see you there. Hello, now I'm currently on my computer, and as you can see in front of you, I have the calculator app, and as I said before, this is for no, the deadline for this is Sunday, so in what's that, like 4 days, counting with this one. And yeah, as I said, I've already handed it in, but I wanted to go through it anyways. So the comments as well as the strings is in Swedish, because yeah, I live in Sweden and my teacher wanted it in Swedish, except for the like variables and function names. Those I keep in English, just because I think it's easier to read that way. But anyways, here at the top I've defined some math functions, like addition has two parameters. Take those variables and adds them together, gets a new value which I call dsum, since just sum is a built-in function in Python, so I couldn't use that. Hence the sum variable name. Okay, and then of course I return it. And here, same thing basically. Subtraction, yeah. Yeah, takes in two values, returns the difference. Same, multiplication, division, yeah, you get it. So down here I have a function to like let the user choose the operator to do the math with. So here I'm doing a while loop to basically repeat this question if the user doesn't enter a valid operator. So in the beginning of the while loop I do this input to ask the user to enter one of these operators, and then I store it in a variable called chosen operator. Kinda basic name, I like it that way. Then I just check that the input of the user is inside this list. This basically tells me if the user has entered one of the valid operators, and if so, I just return it. Else, I print this is not a valid operator, choose again, and the while loop continues, and I ask for an operator again. Alright, the next function is a function for the user to choose a number. I kinda did the same thing here. Started with a while loop, ask the user for a number, store it here in the variable called number. Then I just try to convert it into integer, since input always returns a string. And if there's no error in converting the variable to a integer, then I just return the converted number. Else, if there's a value error, which you get if you try to convert a letter into integer, then I just print this is an invalid number, choose again, and the while loop continues, and I ask the user again. Okay, so now we come to the main function where like the flow of the code happens, and it starts with asking the user for a number, followed by asking the user for a operator. Same things here. I would like to name this operator, but there's a built-in class, I think, in Python, or I don't know, maybe it's a function, I don't really know. But yeah, that's why I named it just Opper. Then I ask the user for a second number, and I initialize a total to none to begin with, and after that I go through and check what the operator is that the user shows. If the operator is equal to plus, then I call the addition function with the two numbers that we got up here, and stored the sum in the variable total that I defined here. And else, if the operator is minus, I do the subtraction method, function, pass in the two numbers as before, and store the difference in the variable total. Same goes with multiplication, and here down in division, if the user chooses division as the operator, I first try this function where I pass in the two numbers, and if the second number would be 0, then we would get a 0 division error, which brings us down here. And if this error occurs, then I basically just print cannot divide by 0. Else, if there's no error in this function, then I just store the quotient in the variable total as done with the previous functions. And I've just added an else here if the operator isn't equal to any of these, which it shouldn't be able to be, but it's better to be safe than not. So if the operator doesn't equal one of these, then I basically just print something went wrong with the chosen operator. And here at the bottom I check if total is not none, so if it got another value from one of these, then I just print answer is, and I write out the first number, the operator the user shows, and the second number, and then just equal to the total. And here I call the main function only if this code is run from the current file. So I'll start this and show you guys. Shows a number, I'll choose 10. Choose an operator, I'll go with the multiplication. Choose another number, I'll go with 75. And yeah, this is how the answer is printed out, which is pretty nice. I got this idea from a classmate actually, to print out the chosen numbers and operators, and not just the answer. Alright, so I can also show the error handling. So if I do like 5 divided by 0, it just prints out can't divide by 0. And if we try to do the value error, which I showed you guys was in a loop, so if I get the value error, it's just gonna print not a valid number, choose again, and I'll get to choose again. So if I type like hello, yeah, you can see it prints this, and I can choose 90 plus 11, and I get this. So yeah, that's the first assignment of the school, of the, what you call it, education, I think. It's pretty cool. I think I've done a calculator just like this before, but it's kind of fun to like go back and do like simpler stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and as you may or may not have seen, I've already done the 2 next assignments, but I'll not go through them right now. I think I'm gonna show them once the deadline's approaching for those. And yeah, here's the lection codes. We've started using Jupyter notebooks, which is really nice in my opinion. Just some basic like functions, what return is, how to use our functions, and yeah, a bit of like dictionary, key value pairs. Yeah, I think I'll show you guys more of the lectures once I get to the more advanced or complex things. I think that's more fun, in my opinion at least. But yeah, that's it. I'm sorry for not uploading last Sunday. I hope this makes up for it, and I'll hopefully see you next Sunday. So bye bye.